crying babies looking for food. Starvation, the recipe, people subdued. When the people you trust got it in for you. Deceit is the word of the day and every clue. Don't let it go, it's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. See, they don't want you to know about the black sheep. Leaving 7 roads to the 12 families all around the globe with an ancient code. Is it really asking a lot to say a death old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct, and I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink, but I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and up and we on the break. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die, you voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. Like a lotus coming out of the mud with colors, I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers. Cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or the weather. I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack and now there's double. But nature gets the shit in the way to settle. If you stop the machines for a minute you might hear, but they won't cause the TV's whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't tear, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't stare. And like an ad, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more.
You know, these developments are moving rapidly. They're moving fast. They're moving like a rocket. I mean, seriously, things are explosive when it comes to the developments in the USA. What is going on with the leadership of the USA? What is going on with the criminal regime of the USA? Like, flat out, these are thugs. They are behaving like thugs. They have been behaving like thugs. And it pretty much looks like they've just been thugs the whole time, and somehow got one over on the American people. And this should be a wake-up call for every American. Like, how did you get a group of thuggish ass folks that understand the pathetic nature of some bigoted Americans? How could they use that to as a shield to navigate politically to get what they want, which is power over everything, power over the most powerful country on earth, power over the most powerful military? Thank God, for some reason, it seems like the military is not so out there and crazy. I don't know if that's because they just ain't going to do what the hell Donald Trump fucking says anyway he says it. If that is the case, thank you. Because the world could go to hell with this type of regime in charge. Now, I don't know how many people been following me, how far back, a year or, or even a month, or, you could go through there and you will see I've been repeating the same thing for a very long time. Like, that is, this ain't no whodunit mystery. It's been in plain sight the entire time. All you have to do is ask the same questions that you would ask with any crime, and you will come up with the same answer. There has to be a motive for murder, for you, for to point you in the direction of the murderers. Now, in this case, you know, there's been a lot of words out there about Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump admits it. Obviously, this is the really weird thing. If you just listen to Trump, he projects a lot. He projects a lot. He tells a lot, and he tells almost on himself. Like, a lot of people wanted to kill Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, please do tell who, Mr. Trump, who could that be? Who could want to have killed Jeffrey? Who would have more of a motive? Who would have more of a motive? Who would have more of a goddamn motive? Please find me someone who would have more of a motive than the person who actually said that. A lot of people wished him dead. A lot of people want him dead. Do tell. Well, it's very interesting. It's getting heated, and shit is coming to light. And when things come to light in the United States of America, when the American people, when things are plainly shown to the American people, vile things, when the American people's time, because American people work every goddamn day. I mean, American people struggle. For a Western people, for a people of the wealthiest democracy on earth, Western democracy, they struggle a whole fucking lot. American people. American people work an hour longer each day, to get a full-time wage. They bring home less of their money in their own pockets out of everyone else in the Western world after they pay their expenses, their taxes, their rent, their electric bill, their water bill, their phone bill, their school, child care, whatever else is attached to that. After they take care of all the essentials, they bring home less money in their own pocket every month. And this is who you're fucking with when you decide to be the president. When you decide to be a congressperson, this is who you're fucking with. When you decide to be a senator, this is who you're fucking with. You're not fucking with people that have been given fucking handouts. God damn it, Congress and you fucking senators, you are getting the fucking handouts. And you have let this motherfucker, excuse my language, you have led some criminals into the American people's house and given them a pass. And it is going to be shown. It's going to be shown. Thank God. This world is so sad. This world is so sad because thank God for the victims that were just left on the side of the road. Thank God they have not given up on themselves. Thank God, because, a lot of people think that maybe, this doesn't connect with them directly. There's 1,000 victims. No, this is you now. This is every single citizen of the United States of America. The same people that let Epstein off of the hook the first time for whatever strange reason that is. We can induct a lot of reasons like criminal mafia, are the same people now who got a promotion trying to do the same thing. And this time, the entire country are the victims too. This time, you see, because before it was just about one thing. They just went in there and went about the victims, the children, right? And then they just said, fuck the children. Give Jeffrey Epstein a pass. Forget him. Let him off. He's rich. He's powerful. His friends are rich and powerful. Just let him off for that. But the treason, the espionage, that's never come to light. If you were a bunch of sick men going after little girls, a guy gets you on camera, a guy documents it, he goes out there and starts sharing the information. You're being blackmailed. And who has that information? Foreign governments have that information. How many foreign governments have that information? How many can toy with the leaders, the congressional members, toy with the senators, toy with the president, toy with others in our society in high places just because of that information being out there in the air. And at the same time, they try to deny the American people the very information that probably America's own enemies already has in their hands. This is pathetic. For the victims, you are strong. You are strong. Now, let's get straight into it because the victims have filed court. They've put things in the courts. They have filed shit. Their attorneys haven't given up. The victims are pissed. The victims are pissed. They're going at the DOJ, calling the DOJ frauds, calling the DOJ, saying they're in dereliction of duty. But let's just get into it. I don't want to take up too much time yapping, but let's just get into it a little bit and see what this sounds like here. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Is my audio up? Boom. Okay. Let's get into it here. Bring this down. I just had to quickly prep some of these. Let's see here. Been a little busy. Here we go, y'all.
First out of the
Wait a second.
expect that we will file the very first action
2 seconds.
demanding the file
Let me see here.
themselves.
This one. I just need to prep. Hold on. 2 seconds.
The Trump White House getting skewered on the Epstein scandal. Today, a new filing from Trump's beleaguered DOJ that is already giving rise to suspicion and criticism. Plus, new legal action from a leading watchdog group and yet another warning from a Trump ally
we back.
about the political peril of the current scandal. As New Republic reports today on Epstein, even MAGA world can smell that Trump is hiding something. In a new filing this afternoon, the Department of Justice pushing...
Now, hiding something. I'm sure every reasonable person can tell they're not just hiding something. They're hiding a whole lot of shit. Not just one scandal, not just one conspiracy, but a conspiracy on top of a conspiracy on top of a conspiracy. You see, that's how foul this is. And I'm believing most reasonable thinking people can see it in plain sight. It's no longer a conspiracy to think that there's a conspiracy on top of a conspiracy on top of a conspiracy ongoing when it comes to Donald Trump, his regime, and their activities, for a long period of time. And, when I first started hearing about this, when they were calling him a, mob type and all of this, I didn't quite put the things together a year ago when Kamala Harris was speaking because I hadn't gone back this far. I didn't have, no normal person would suspect this level of criminality. Nobody. It's very difficult. You would have to be you would have to be law enforcement yourself to have been following this shit for years, for decades. But it appears that for some reason, a person, a group of individuals have been allowed to operate on such a massive level of corruption and criminality that it looks like they've taken over the United States government. I mean, which is at least the civil arm, maybe not the military, but the civil arm, the Congress, the, Senate, the Supreme Court, and the White House. The things we pay taxes for the military too, but goddamn, all that other shit is supposed to work every day of the week, right? When it comes to functioning. And for some reason, none of it has worked to stop people involved with this case. And there really just got to be some answers for that.
On request to unseal grand jury material. But legal observers say it looks like theater and a barely concealed attempt to appear interested in transparency while pursuing information most experts believe won't contain any new revelations. New details today on Trump's desperate attempt to quell political blowback. The White House reportedly, quote, asking podcaster Joe Rogan to help ease the uproar over the Epstein files.
Now this is like an admission because I mean they're asking Joe Rogan, who the hell goes out there and puts it on podcasters to help fix something? I mean, this I'm starting to wonder: are they asking so forthright with asking Joe Rogan? Like, is it because he owes them something under the table? What the hell is going on? Who the hell ask a podcaster? Hey, can you fix this for us? Can you go out there and it's your fault? It's not Joe Rogan's fault. Joe Rogan. It's his fault for being a goddamn fool and supporting Trump in the first place, because anyone should have been able to see that there was a fire there when it comes to little girls. There's a fire there when it comes to Epstein. The first time you may not have seen it. The second time you had to have fucking known. So if you didn't see the warning signs that this is definitely not better than that, what you had before. This Trump is definitely not better than Biden or Kamala Harris. If you can't see the difference, something is fucking wrong with you, Joe Rogan, and you couldn't. Maybe it was the conspiracy websites you were so caught up in looking at. Maybe it was the conspiracy websites and, you know, what is it, Kamala Harris drinking, or who is it, Hillary Clinton drinking blood on Epstein Island. Everything phony is what they went for, and nothing real and concrete. And this is what you get for it. I mean, so we cannot rely on Joe Rogan for a goddamn thing. Joe Rogan, fix yourself first before you ever attempt to fix anything else, because you were so screwed up in the head that you compared a pedophile, a criminal, a whole organization of liars and thieves to just regular civil servants actually trying to help people get health fucking care. Like this is just.
Look, Rogan has been a vocal critic of the administration.
Look, if it wasn't for the victims, people wouldn't even get this far. No one would be following this. Even the media might not even be covering it. Seriously.
Administration's handling of the Epstein files. The other problem for Trump concerns Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. Trump has dangled a pardon for her, which critics say looks like a blatant attempt to elicit friendly testimony from her. Today, Trump's former press secretary, Sean Spicer, warns all of this could backfire spectacularly.
What do you think the reaction would be if Donald Trump pardoned Maxwell?
I actually think about this differently. I would say he would be under the impression that he was going to be able to say that they got something from her, further information. I think if anyone who sells him on this is lying to him. My point, and that's why you're like, what is his reaction going to be? I think this is very akin to Comey, right? When he fired Comey, he was told, "Oh, if you fire Comey, everyone's going to cheer you on," and he missed I think people misled him on how that was.
First of all, Spicer, shut the hell up. Why they even let him on TV anymore? I mean, this guy capped for Trump. He made an ass out of himself, and this is where ethics comes into play. Just because you got a job, dude, how far are you going to cap for a person that is obviously a lunatic? That would be Sean Spicer. And now his ass is out here on media. We don't need these goddamn people. I'm sorry. We cannot go back to the Sean Spicer thinkers. Those are the people that would work with a fucking guy who comes out in front of the world and talks bad negatively about women. And I'm telling you, go through my archive. I have clips and clips and clips of Trump saying the most derogatory shit to women. Just women. I mean, saying really derogatory things like things that you cannot confuse with anything else but misogyny. Speaking to professional women. I mean, Sean Spicer, just beat it, dude. Let's get ahead of this. Come on.
Go down. I think this is similar. There will be outrage like never before if she gets a deal.
Yeah, we know, fuckhead. We know Sean
Also, the
Spicer.
government transparency group Democracy Forward filing a new lawsuit to force the administration to release the Epstein files. The head of the group saying, quote, President Trump has repeatedly said he would release the Epstein files. His spokesperson claims his administration is the most transparent in history, and yet they continue to hide from the American people. The only thing transparent about the Trump-Vance administration is how clearly they continue to disregard our nation's laws. Joining me now to discuss is Ambassador Norm Eisen, Executive Chair of the Democracy Defenders Fund, co-founder of the Contrarian, and former Obama ethics czar. His group is suing the administration for Epstein information. Also with us is Tara Setmeyer, co-founder and CEO of the Seneca Project, author of Uncompromised on Substack, and former GOP communicator.
Stay with me, y'all. We're getting somewhere. Trust me. I got some more things, and we have the filings in the court cases. Also, we're going to go through it in detail.
Communications director. So, Norm, I'll start with you. What are you hoping to get out of suing the DOJ and this administration for the Epstein files? Are you hoping to sort of highlight how non-transparent they are, highlight how they're obstructing justice, highlight how they are probably hiding something or somebody? Or do you actually think that they will release the information in any shape, where, form that we can actually understand?
Somebody in the chat said watching MSNBC says it all. No, fool. I've been predicting everything that they're saying right now to you a year ago. Okay? I've been saying they're not going to release the files, period. They don't want to. The crime is in the files. The meditation, the motive for the murder of Jeffrey Epstein, the espionage is all in the Epstein files. The blackmail of your leaders is all in the Epstein files, which is why Trump would never, ever, 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 ever release them, regardless of what he says to the public. What he says to the public is not what he's going to do. What his administration says to you maggots is not what they're going to do. Listen to what they said.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
They're obviously not going to do it because the crime is actually inside of the files. Not just one conspiracy, but two conspiracies, three conspiracies, real conspiracy. Not just about 1,000 girls getting assaulted by crazy ass elitist men that run around the country doing any goddamn thing that they want, having one rule of justice while everyone else has to live under them, having a different set of rules. Not just that, but also these men being caught on tape, being caught in photographs, and being blackmailed internationally by foreign leaders. Yes, see, we don't need foreign leaders being able to control our presidents, our congressional members, our senators. We don't need that. Okay, that's not what the American people pay taxes for. You see what I mean? And this is the depth of it. I'm not trying to belittle the victims, because goddamn, they've the ones been standing there fighting for themselves. They've had to stand for 20 years listen, they had to stand for 20 years. The victims had to stand for 20 years. Oh my God, it is so bad. But the victims had to stand here for 20 years after being told things like, we own the FBI, we own the DA, we own the police. After being told that, they had to watch 20 years and find out how it was true.
None of the victims today have been informed about the facts that Maxwell was moved. And that, is another just kind of slap in the face. It's also, I think, really important. There's an element of re-traumatization here. Because one of the things that Maxwell in particular did so effectively is she would taunt these victims, and she would say, or people that would be in a position to know things, and she would say, you can't do anything because we own the police. We own the FBI. We own the district attorney's office. And so that had a really chilling effect on people that the police. We own the FBI. We own the district attorney's office. And she would say, you can't do anything because we own the police. We own the FBI. We own the district attorney's office. And she would say, you can't do anything because we own the police. We own the FBI. We own the district attorney's office.
So these people that were talking back then, associated with each other back then in Florida, when Maxwell was saying this to these victims, right? Around the same time Trump is best friends with Epstein, right? These people got promotions. They got jobs from Trump. The same people that worked on this case got jobs from Trump. So what does that mean? If they could tell you they own the police in Florida, they own the district attorney's office in Florida, they own the FBI, I guess circumventing or surrounding Florida, at least in that local department. If they get a promotion to the White House, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Who do they own then? See, that means every goddamn American citizen is now a victim. It's not just these little girls anymore. It's not, and again, these young girls that are now women that had their story and their cases buried for the sake of elitists in the country, right? Hiding what they've been up to, hiding the absurdity that they have been caught by foreign governments molesting little girls. Just to cover that up, these girls have had to wait for decades and see how deep
and so
this comment
really
is. Listen to this.
On people that may have been inclined to come forward.
This is what they believe. This is what they were told.
You can't do anything because we own the police. We own the FBI. We own the district attorney's office. And so that had a really chilling effect on people that may.
So who's in office now? Who's in office now? Who are the victims talking about today? Who are the victims upset with today? Who are they? Are they upset at Biden and Harris? The victims are the victims filing court case, issuing requests from courts about the Biden administration today? No, they're actually actively today doing something else. Today, they're saying something completely different. They're doing this. This is what they're doing today about the Trump administration. They're saying the Trump administration is in dereliction of duty. That's what these victims are saying today. They're not talking about, oh, Biden and Harris, you let us down. You didn't do anything. No, because Biden and Harris prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell themselves. She went to jail. Trump is the one trying to let her ass out, right in plain sight, in your face. That's exactly what's going on here.
From the language in these filings, the victims, or at least the ones represented here, are clearly frustrated, distrustful, and angry. Not happy. Here's the tone and sentiment breakdown from each. First letter, August 4th, 2025, anonymous victim to Judge Berman. Tone, emotional, accusatory, disappointed. Key feelings expressed, disdain and disgust toward how the DOJ handled the Epstein files.
Now check this out. Here, let's go into this. Let's read this. And I believe the Midas Touch, they were one of the first to break this story. Dear judges, dear Judge Berman and Engelmeyer, we write on behalf of Annie Farmer in response to the belated notice that we received from the Department of Justice on July 25th, 2025. And that's just the other day for people that don't know. Advising that the court is seeking letters on behalf of us, victims, setting out their position on the proposed disclosures of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's grand jury transcripts. By the government's admission, over 1,000 victims suffered from the Epstein's and Ghislaine Maxwell's actions. To date, however, the combined forces of our country's law enforcement agencies have only ever arrested these two individuals in connection with the crimes committed against countless young women and girls, and the government's recent suggestion that no further criminal investigations are forthcoming is a cowardly abdication of the duties to protect and serve. They're talking about the Trump administration saying, what did they say? What did Trump's administration say? Trump's administration said that that no further criminal investigations are forthcoming. That's the Trump's administration's decision. That's not Biden and Harris. So just stay focused on the topic, y'all. Stay focused on the topic. But here are some of the things. It's not the only filing. There's another filing telling them to release all the Epstein files, all of them, and only redact victims, to do not hide anyone else. There's another court filing. Seriously. And this is all victims standing up for themselves. This is not all the gun-holding American citizens with their flags running around saying, you're going to release those files, God damn it. No, it's not y'all. It's not you MAGA people that are filing these cases. You see, it's not you maggots that are saying we're going to bum rush the Capitol and take those goddamn files, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, we're going to shit on the carpet. No, it's not you MAGA people doing that. You MAGA people aren't saying we're going to drag out J.D. Vance and hang him in front of the Capitol if you don't release these files. No, you maggots don't do that kind of shit. These are little girls, people that were molested, assaulted by the United States' most powerful people. Straight up. And others.
Filings and the quotes. Here's how the victim's feelings translate into a legal strategy. Number 1. Main legal goal. Force full disclosure of the Epstein files. What they want.
Hold on. Let me see here. 2 seconds. Here we go. It's this one. Sorry about that. Let's listen to what's in these files, the language they use in these court
Here are
requests.
The most telling exact quotes from the documents that show the frustration and anger of the victims and their representatives. From the anonymous victim letter, August 4th, 2025. I come forward to you today in disdain, disgust, and fear of how the United States of America's DOJ has handled the promise to release the Epstein files. It has been a very difficult time for me personally, mentally and emotionally, dealing with the circus around the Epstein files. Epstein killed himself under whose watch? Oh, was it Trump's DOJ? Interesting. The agencies that were supposed to be there to protect us victims utterly and completely failed us. With their disregard for the victims, I feel it is imperative.
I don't know if you caught that, but this one of the victims is just said, oh, wow, you mean he died under Trump's administration? Whoa, look at this. The agencies that were supposed to be there to protect us victims utterly and completely failed us. This is filed on August 4th. That's just a few days ago. Another quote. With their disregard for the victims, I feel it is imperative to write this letter to the court. Another one. What you have done and continue to do is eating at me day after day as you help to perpetuate this story indefinitely. I mean, these victims, look, here we go. I come forward to you today in disdain, disgust, and fear of how the United States of America DOJ has handled the promise to release the Epstein files. Now, who promised to release the Epstein files? Who promised to release the Epstein files? I don't know if any maggots remember that, but there was some sort of promise put out to the public from maggots about, what they're going to do when they get in power and how things are going to be and how you're going to get the hell out of our way, because if you don't get out of our way, we're going to kick you out of our way because we're going to hunt down and chase the pedophiles. Who said that?
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI.
Why is he?
Now, what's funny about Pam is that She's acting like she don't know a whole lot about this. Oh, the files are coming. They just arrived today. Da 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 da. La 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 la. But she was working for the DOJ in Florida the first time Epstein was prosecuted. So she knows a whole lot of shit the entire time. How did she get this job? Maybe she was hired to keep this a secret. How did Acostas, the guy who actually gave Epstein the slap on the wrist, the plea deal, without even informing the victims the first time, which is against federal law, how did he get a job from Trump? What does that tell you? What does that tell you? I mean, you tell me what it tells you.
Here are the most telling exact quotes from the documents that show the frustration and anger of the victims and their representatives. From the anonymous victim letter, October 4th, 2025. I come forward to you today in disdain, disgust, and fear of how the United States of America's DOJ has handled the promise to release the Epstein files. It has been a very difficult time for me personally, mentally and emotionally dealing with the circus around the Epstein files. Epstein killed himself under whose watch? Oh, was it Trump's DOJ? Interesting. The agencies that were supposed to be there to protect us victims utterly and completely failed us. With their disregard for the victims, I feel it is imperative to write this letter to the court. What you have done and continue to do is eating at me day after day as you help to perpetuate this story indefinitely. You protect yourself and your powerful and wealthy friends, not enemies, over the victims. Why? In the end, we are the biggest voices of the truth, and the truth always comes out in time. From the legal excerpt, highlighted passage, October 5th, 2025. The government's recent suggestion that no further criminal investigations are forthcoming is a cowardly abdication of its duties to protect and serve.
I mean, these words were just filed to the court on August 4th, those words. Now here's August 5th, and these are damning words about this administration. Okay? Stop trying to go into fantasy land about Hillary Clinton drinking blood on Epstein Island. Sorry. People are trying to figure out why the hell do you want to get the Clintons to testify when you don't even want the victims to testify? What the hell? They're saying this in the court filings themselves. Look at this.
From Annie Farmer's attorney, Sigrid McCauley, October 5th, 2025. Over 1,000 victims suffered from Epstein's and Maxwell's actions. The combined forces of our country's law enforcement agencies have only ever arrested these two individuals in connection with crimes committed against countless young women and girls. The government's recent suggestion that no further criminal investigations are forthcoming is a cowardly abdication of its duties to protect and serve. These quotes make it clear. The anonymous victim is speaking from a place of deep personal hurt and betrayal, accusing the government of protecting elites. The attorney for Annie Farmer is formally but firmly accusing the DOJ of failing its duty to pursue justice for all victims. If you want,
So, this is the docket that was just released by the court. These were filings done maybe 4 days ago, something like that. But they've just been released to the public as of in the last 24 hours, in the last 12 hours, really, I suspect, right? Because it's news. This is running on some of the leading, the Midas Touch is running this story. Who else? I guess Democracy Docket is going to run the story. A few others, but you hear legacy media covering it in a different way, CNN, MSNBC, kind of like soft pause on it. But here's the thing. They're digging into it still, even with the soft pause, because the reality of it is that, of course, they could be sued. They're all worried about being sued. I'm not worried about fucking being sued. You see what I'm saying? Independent journalists, independent vloggers, independent media, social media is not worried about being sued. And even if they do, what the hell? In social media, that just gets you 1 million more fucking views, right? So they prefer to not have that. But they would really like to go into some private litigation with legacy media. They're twisting their arms to not cover this. But nonetheless, They're all in dereliction of duty because this is about the American people. To be patriotic, you're supposed to say fuck being sued. I mean, why do we need these corporations that don't protect our goddamn civil and human rights, that don't respect them? Why do we need anybody that's not out to protect our rights? Why do we need journalists that aren't going to tell the American people the truth, that after you pay your taxes, after you pay your expenses for your essentials, your housing, your electricity, your water bill, your phone bill, your child care, why don't we have journalists in the United States of America, in legacy media, that just tell the American people, after you pay all of that, you bring home less money in your pocket from your paycheck than everyone else in every other Western nation, yet you're the most powerful nation? Why don't we have legacy media doing that also? It's because they're part of the scam. They are part of the scam. They capitulate. They're getting the tax break for the big, beautiful bill. Legacy media is getting that big, beautiful bill. The sweat. And American people, we have to take our goddamn country back. We have to. If we don't fucking stand up together, these people have every right and should look at us like some goddamn fools. They should. They should look at us like some goddamn fools. Elon Musk, Ghislaine Maxwell, they should look at us like some goddamn fools because we let them do it. We fall for the okie doke. We fall for some little immigrant picking some potatoes somewhere, picking some fruit and vegetables that's going to take my job. We fall for the why do you want my taxes to pay for your health care? How come you don't just pull your pants up by yourself like my granddaddy did when he first came to this country? You know what I'm saying? Stupid shit like this. It's like, yo, do you even know the world you live in? Do you even know the country you live in? But do you know the world you live in? The United States is the wealthiest country on earth, still to this day with this lunatic in office. And yet American people go for some of the silliest goddamn things. That's why you have these two people getting all of Trump's attention. That's why you have Elon Musk, Trump breaking his back for Elon Musk, and Trump breaking his back for Ghislaine Maxwell, because the American people allow it through being led astray politically by cheap talking points that make no goddamn rational sense whatsoever. Period. There is no excuse. A naturalized American citizen who just came in the country has more influence over every single American, the White House, the government, the military. There's no goddamn excuse for that but stupidity. So American citizens, y'all gonna have to pull your goddamn pants up. And like Cash Chappelle talking about the DOJ, you better pull your pants up and release the Epstein files. Yeah, he's not gonna say that anymore. No, American people better pull your pants up, because Cash Patel is just a goddamn opportunist that fooled you because he knew you was too stupid to figure it out. Yes, he took the check. Yes, he has no fucking experience. Pam Bondi, yes, she did cover it up. They are covering it up right now because of the money. That's what they're doing. That's not patriotic. They could give a fuck, care less about any poor ass white person in the United States of America. They could care less about any poor ass black person, any poor ass Hispanic, any poor ass anybody, any middle class working person, any person that's doing better than middle class. If you are not a billionaire, they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. $1 million ain't that much these days. You see what I mean? You ain't rich with $1 million. $1 million doesn't do really much. You're still too close in the vicinity to losing all your shit. In America, in the United States of America, now you leave and go to Colombia, that $1 million might last you a little while. In the US, that $1 million don't last you nothing. So you little rappers out there that's been toting the line, and the rest of you that's been saying, I'm going to get this tax break. Man, you guys are just silly as hell. Just silly as hell. Get it straight. Start thinking about your country. Start thinking about everyday people. Stop disassociating yourself from these victims. And that's what everyone did in this society. They disassociated themselves from these victims. And guess what you all are now? You are now their victims too. Because you didn't act. You didn't take responsibility with your vote. You actually took being American for granted. That's the only way you end up with Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Elon Musk all in your pockets. With all the secrets telling you after they told you this a million times. I mean, they went out there in the public and told people this shit a million times. What did they tell people?
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI.
Now, I want y'all to look. Everybody that's following me, first of all, subscribe. Please subscribe, because your brother has been breaking this down. Your fellow American living outside of the U.S. has been breaking this shit down since before the election. I'm telling you, I'm only doing this because I care about my country. I care about my folks. I care about my ancestors. And that has nothing to do with your ethnicity. It's a lot of us that come from different places. We got people of African descent that came. Native Americans has been in America since they're the ones who took care of the land before we got there. You have European descent that came and fought inside of this country. We all played a role in that. But today, that special little mix is what has allowed the United States to be the most powerful country on earth. And look at where we let it go to. A bunch of scammers. We let it go to a bunch of scammers. If you're a middle class person, it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is, you should know one thing. We should easily be able to have goddamn health care for every child. We should easily be able to have access to any American that wants to improve themselves so they can get a better job and pay their bills. In the richest country on earth, that should be no question about it whatsoever. But these people and their schemes, their little elitist schemes, conspiring together or using the media, have convinced us that we don't deserve things every other Western country population knows goddamn well. Not only do they deserve it, but they gonna get it, or we're going to fire your ass. And they do. You see what I'm saying? And what the result of that has been is generations of people that all had access to education. What did that bring? A calm, cool society where chaos is not reigning supreme, where everyone's not getting thrown into jail, where people aren't being desperate to commit crimes because they're taking care of their goddamn people. That's what government is supposed to do. Collective bargaining, people having the brains to know that collectively together, we can all have the best healthcare on earth for even cheaper than we pay now. Collective bargaining means we can all have the best education on earth for even cheaper now, because we're cutting out the middleman on the essentials. We don't need no greedy corporate bastard in the middle of our essentials. Why do the United States of America, why are you guys paying $100 a month for a damn cell phone bill? It makes no damn sense. Yeah, I get the same what you pay for in the United States for a cell phone bill, a basic cell phone bill. I have the same cell phone coverage where I'm living outside of the U.S. in Europe, and I pay $14 a month for that. Why is that? Scratch your head. And that's the story of the United States of America. Why is that? Why is that? You know, Americans, if you can't figure that problem out, no wonder you have this problem right here.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Ain't gonna happen.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
They took the money.
Thing.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Yeah, Kash Patel, put on your big boy pants and get the fuck out of the United States of America. Like, really. Elon Musk, put on your big boy pants and get the fuck out of the United States of America. You know, Trump, you and you cohorts, all you billionaires that's been sitting there scamming the American people who work every single hour for every penny they get in their pockets, struggling with no support from their goddamn government. You all need to get the fuck out of the U.S. You need to get the fuck out. And American people need to vote these Congress people and these senators out of fucking power and replace them with some that at least have the decency to get you some health care, some education, access to education, just like every other Western democracy. Get rid of their ass. Stop going for the okie doke, because you pay for these people to be super duper 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 rich. It's you. You're paying for this. This is what you pay for. You pay for people like this. You see Ghislaine Maxwell right there standing next to Elon Musk. You pay for people like her to tell victims, thousands of victims, this. This is what you pay for.
None of the victims today have been informed about the facts that Maxwell was moved. And that, is another just kind of slap in the face. It's all to say, you can't do anything because we own the police. We own the FBI. We own the district attorney's office. And so that had a really chilling effect on people that may have been inclined to come forward. And this situation today.
You paid for a government that allows wealthy people to think like this about the average American citizen. We own the FBI. We own the DO, because now it's the DOJ. Before it was the DA. It was the DA, the local DA out of Florida, but they've been promoted to the national level. So that's the DOJ. We got ICE running around looking after people that do jobs no one else wants to do. And then you have these people who just told them we own the FBI. Look, they get a pass. They're not even good. Is Ghislaine Maxwell even a goddamn citizen? Elon Musk, is he even? He's a naturalized citizen. He's a fucking immigrant. He's a criminal. He's a bad immigrant. Bad immigrants are people that come into your country and have the nerve to conspire against it. That's also bad. Bad immigrants traffic little girls. Bad immigrants tell these little girls, we own the police. We own the FBI. We own the DOJ. Where the hell is ICE? Where was ICE all that time? They're not looking for these kind of people. That's the problem. They're not looking for elitist, criminal, corrupt thugs. ICE is not looking for goddamn mafia for real. You see, they're out there wasting tax dollars looking for people that pick corn just so you can afford to buy some with the rest of your money if you got any left after these scammers done took all your goddamn money. Yo, I'm going to be back today. I'm going to be back because I got to look, I'm losing my train of thought because this pisses me off to listen, to read, to know that this is going on. This is real. This is reality. This is reality. Yeah, I'm coming back today. I promise y'all. Click, for those of you that have not clicked subscribe, do it. Click subscribe. It's free. Click like on the video so more people can come. I'm born and raised in the United States of America. My family goes all the way back on both sides to the beginning of the country. And I'm not saying that for some superficial reason. I'm just spitting the real. But I live outside of the U.S., born and raised in Washington, D.C., but I live outside of the U.S. And part of my job, part of my patriotic job, is to let you know what it's like outside of the U.S. in another Western country and how people are looking back in the U.S. and saying, why Why don't they just have these normal things? Everyone in the Western world is looking at Americans and saying, why don't you have these normal things? Why don't you have access? Should you have to guess about access? The value of access to education improves the entire society. Every single person having access to education cleans up the entire society just in itself. Why would you not want that? Why would you not want every single American citizen having access to health care? Because if you don't have healthy workers, they're not productive. Why would you not want that? Everyone living outside in the Western country is scratching their head like, yo, we love Americans. Americans are cool. They work hard. But goddamn, what the fuck is going on with these people? No, none of these people want a naturalized citizen coming into their country and owning them. None of them. They would kick them out of the country so goddamn fast. Do you see how they got rid of Elon Musk's Tesla cars? Do you see that? They would expel these people. They would expel them. They understand the danger that these people represent. But yet Americans are just sitting around playing games with this shit. Yo, this is your country. Your country is under attack. You better wake up from it. You better wake up from it. And if you don't see the attack, it's because you're not thinking, because this is not you got to stop thinking one dimensionally. There's layers to this thing. There's layers to it. You see, again, it's not just about the victims, although the victims, how they've been treated is horrendous. Horrendous for the world to see. We do not protect little girls, period. In the United States of America, the DOJ, the FBI, they fucking do not. They protect wealthy people first and basically only. Secondly, people who got that information about what happened, who was involved with those little girls, blackmail the politicians. They blackmail the Supreme Court. They blackmail to get what they want. These are people outside of the U.S., foreign governments blackmailing. You can't. What's the point of being a citizen and paying taxes when your goddamn people are blackmailed? What's the point? Then the people that hate the United States of America, what makes you think you're safe right now? What makes you think they won't kick you when you're at your weakest point? What makes you think that they won't? Okay, I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'll be back. It's just something to think about. You tell me. I'll be back, man. Y'all be good. I appreciate everybody. The ones that show the love, I appreciate you. The ones that don't, you don't have to. You don't have to. I got health care. My kids get paid to go to school, technical school and university. Okay, they have health care too. So don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. I'm just a little upset about, my own country because it's embarrassing to be an American. I have to explain like, damn, our country's in trouble. I have to explain this shit to people outside of the U.S. all the goddamn time because they are scratching their head trying to figure out, damn, we thought we knew Americans. What the hell is going on? So on that note, I'll be back, y'all. Y'all be good. Peace. One, take care of yourselves until later today. I'm going to get back with you. Appreciate everybody. Oh, what was that? Oh, I see. Hold on. In the chat. Y'all wilding in the chat. I see that. All right. I appreciate it. Oh, what happened here? Oh, can you see that? Can y'all see what I just did on the screen? No, you can't see it. All right. Well, in any case, I'll be back with y'all later on today. Y'all be good.
Deceit is the word of the day and every crew. Don't let it go. It's from the days of old. Time is up, but some still do not know. Can I make up my mind? Is it worth the dime? Do I have to take a minute just to make it mine? Life's never fair, but don't listen to the TV. Go out and take a listen to the streets with the people in the slums and the homeless bums with degrees and degrees sitting under a tree. It's not easy in the world for the poor man, the one that brought you to reality. They don't want you to know about the black sheep, leaving 7 roads to the 12 families all around the globe with an ancient code. old. Is it really asking a lot to say a debt old? Cause we sitting on the earth looking back at extinct, and I'm standing on some ground that's about to sink. I ain't scared for a minute, I ain't about to blink, but I documented for the world what I see and think. Feel we on the call and up and we on the brink. All Congress gonna do is waste paper and ink. Vote or die, you voted and you'll die. You can have it both ways, can't say it's a lie. You can march all you want, but they playing you wrong. They only understand war, it's the same old song. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. War, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they manifest the war. Like a lotus coming out of the mud with colors, I create envy in those with power but jealous. I unify the poor with my song, the hell with the others. Descended the way they treat indigenous brothers, cause I understand we link forever. They try to hate us even though that we keep it together. I'm not talking about controlling the air or the weather, I'm talking about maintaining the truth, the high endeavor. A rebel drops bombs in the midst of trouble. The free world counterattack and now there's double, but nature gets the shit in a way that's subtle. If you stop the machines for a minute you might hear, but they won't cause the TVs whisper in the ear. And capitalism has eyes that don't tear, and they cloud up and get crazy and won't steer. And like an ad, it's hard to get an ass to listen. Living like this is like living in prison. It's hard to keep hope when you're living in prison. The spiritual thoughts, so yes, the mental prison. The outside, yes, it's got to get through. Something's gotta die, so something here can live. Your life is nothing if you got nothing to give. Keeping the spiritual, yes, disguised as religion. Controlling your mind, the mental prison. They want war, all they really want is a war. Diversionary tactic to make the big score. The diamonds in the morning, you know they want more, but they wanna keep you low, so they